Hello and welcome to Roy Hudd's original vintage music hall. Now today I want to take you way back in time, back to the golden days of the British music hall. Now don't panic, because I'm not going to sing the songs for you, but we've got a very special film for you now, because all the songs that you're going to see and all the routines you're going to see in the next few minutes are all done by the artists who made them famous originally. So we've got some very rare, marvellous vintage film for you. Now we're going to start with a song I'm sure you all know, a very famous song indeed, but I wonder how many of you know the lady who sang it. Well, you're going to meet her right now. The original singer of this famous song, Lilly Morris.
What is the matter with me? I've been a bridesmaid for 22 brides. This one will make 23. 22 maidens I've helped off the shelf. No doubt it seems a bit strange. Being the bridesmaid is no good to me, and I think I could do with a change. Why am I always a bridesmaid? Never the blushing bride. Ding dong, wedding bells only ring for other girls. But one fine day, oh, let it be soon, I shall wake up in the morning on my own honeymoon. 22 times I have been to the church, followed the bride up the aisle. 22 maidens have answered I will, meaning I won't all the while. 22 couples I've seen go away, just demoted on their own. 22 times I have wished it was me, I'm gone back home to mother alone. Why I always arrive, never the blushing bride. Ding-a-dong, wedding bells only ring again. But one fine day, oh, let it be soon, I shall wake up in the morning on my own honeymoon. I had a good chance a week or two back. Took my young man home to tea. Mother got playful and gave him a pinch. Yes, pinched my finances for me. Being a widow, she knew what to do. No use for me to complain. When they got married today, if you please, I was only the bridesmaid again. Why am I always alive? Never the lucky one. Ding dong, wedding, only river. I shall wake up in the morning.
Lilly Morris. I hope you all joined in that, but you didn't kick your legs quite as hard as Lil did. Lilly Morris. Well, our next performer is a lady who I had the privilege of working with. Now, I know I don't look that old, but I did. And she wasn't really strictly a musical performer. She's what you really, I suppose, call a variety performer. But if she'd been alive in the days of the music hall, she'd have been a great musical performer. One of the greatest comedians Great Britain's ever produced. Not only that, but a marvellous straight singer as well. I can tell you've guessed already. Of course it is our Gracie.
Joe took me to the pictures the other evening. It was fine. They called it The Betrayal and the acting was divine. It's the best film that they've had for years round at the Hippodrome, and it's a good job I took my handkerchief with me when I left home. Oh, pretty dog upon her beauty spot. Oh, I never cried so much in all my life. It takes a lot to make me cry, but oh dear, when I start and think of what that girl went through, I'm like a water cart. I see her eyes, I hear her voice at night when I'm in bed, and here's a scene I'll never get out of my head. As she faced the blinding snowstorm and came trudging through the town, oh, I never cried so much in all my life. Oh, and when I saw her carrying her baby upside down, oh, I never cried so much in all my life. She lingered near the Rose and Crown, the wind was howling wild, when up the village street there came the father of her child. So she tapped him for a tanner for a pint of old and mild. Oh, I never cried so much in all my life. Eyes were blue when I met you, Sally. You were my gal, my little pal, but through came along, made life a song. Sally, till I met you, I wondered what I'd do. Sally, don't ever wander away from the alley and me. Sally, Sally, marry me, Sally, and happy forever I'll be. When skies are blue, you'll be beguiling, and when they're gray, you're still smiling, smiling. Sally, Sally, pride of our alley, you're more than the whole world to
Our Gracie, see, one of my great heroes she was. Now, I'm going to introduce you now to three of my great heroes. Now, when we used to go along to the old variety theatres, we always had the top of the bill stars, but there was always other acts on the bill that used to do peculiar things, maybe jugglers, maybe unicyclists, paper tearers, showing performing dogs, you never knew what. They called them speciality acts. And this one is one of the great speciality acts of all time. Willson, Kepple and Betty. Now, this next gentleman, it's a very rare piece of film indeed, because this gentleman was, I suppose, the first gentleman of music hall, really. See if you can guess who it is. He always billed himself as the Prime Minister of Mirth, and he was one of the very few music hall performers ever to be knighted. One was Sir Harry Lauder. Of course, we've got one now, haven't we? Sir Harry Seacombe. But this gentleman was Sir George Robey.
Before we go any further, we may well understand one another. I have not come here to be made a laughing stock of. Please remember where you are. One finds on statistical evidence that the authentic revelations are diabolically inconsistent with the idiosyncrasies of our explanative qualifications. Or in other words, the allegorical excavations of a bygone contraption are, or should be, dictographically corroborated by the quintessence of conciseness. And if I can't spell all that, I can say it. Now, listen to this. Pretty thing, isn't it? Well, I like it. Would you play that once for me? I like to go walking along by myself. It's merely for exercise. I wander along like a mischievous elf, but I always expect a surprise. The other day I was walking alongside of a hedge, and the hedge was apropos of some trees. I got my surprise as I walked along the edge. It was a sound wafted my way on the breeze. So I stopped, and I looked, and I listened, and I tried to locate that sound. First I thought it was here, then I thought it was there. A most peculiar sound, and I really declare I had heard it before, but I cannot say where. So I thought that this sound must be found. So I stopped, and I looked, and I listened. The sound seemed to be all around. Someone said new, and someone said don't. Someone said do, and someone said won't. So I stopped, and I looked, and I listened.
Whenever you go to a sing-song, a knees-up or a booze-up, anywhere all over the country, you always hear the songs of Mari Lloyd. Great songs like Oh, Mr. Porter, I'm one of the ruins that Cromwell knocked about a bit. Well, I don't really think there's any film of Mari Lloyd actually singing one of her own songs. But today we've got the next best thing. We've got Mari's daughter singing one of her mum's songs, Mari Lloyd Jr.
Of a start as well as anyone, although start, you know, is supposed to make you fat. And the there's many a lardy-dardy met and wouldn't dare to touch it because he says it's for the figure, that silly chap. Well, I always go with having it if you fancy it. If you fancy it, that's understood. Well, suppose it makes you fat. I don't worry over that, because a little of what you fancy does you good. Now, once a year I likes a little holiday. And we always has one, my old man and me. But the last time that we had one, he sprung up a new idea when he saw the ladies bathing in the sea. He says, now, what a man requires is change of everything. And he ought to take his holidays alone, you know, away from everyday affairs. So I said, very likely, if you want a little fortnight on your own, well, I always having it if you fancy it. If you fancy it, that's understood. But if that's your blooming game, I intend to do the same. Because a little of what you fancy does you good.
Of course, one of Mari Lloyd's most famous songs was the song, Oh, Mr. Porter. Well, we've got a clip of Oh, Mr. Porter now. Not the song, but the film, Oh, Mr. Porter. I wonder how many of you remember that film. Of course, it starred one of the great sketch comedians we've ever produced. And here he is again, Will Hay.
Here, wait a minute. Here, what day is it? It's our last if we don't get this thing shifted. It's the 19th. Here, see what it says here? On April the 19th, summertime will start. Clocks should be adjusted accordingly. There you are, see, we got lots of time. Yeah, that's quite correct. Yeah. Hey, that's addressed to me. Yes, that's right. Well, what's the idea of opening my letters? Well, I couldn't have told you who it was from if I hadn't opened it. Well, in future, you leave my letters alone, will you? To adjust the service to the new time, the 11 o'clock express on this day will run at 12 o'clock summertime. Well, what are we hurrying about? We've got 2 hours.
How can you make out we got 2 hours?
Well, if we put the clocks back an hour and the train's an hour late, that's 2 hours, isn't it?
Hey, you put the clocks forward and the train back.
Well, what do we get then?
Got the express coming any minute.
What are you talking about? Listen, if the train's an hour late, how can it be coming now?
It's summertime.
Summertime? The old fool's potty. Summertime or wintertime, if a train's late, it's late.
Yeah, that's right. It's that you put the clocks forward.
Well, if the clocks go forward, then the train's already gone.
No, you put the clocks back.
Of course you do. You lengthen the day by taking an hour off the end and sticking it on the beginning.
No, you take an hour off the beginning and stick it on the end.
That's wintertime.
Wintertime, you put them back.
Well, that's what I said.
Oh, you said to put it back to summertime.
Yes, that's right.
It ain't. You put the clocks forward, which makes the train early.
Oh, would you believe? Listen, I know what I'm talking about. You don't put the clocks forward, you put them back, and you put the train back.
I see. You put everything back.
Yes.
I'm sorry. You're right.
Well, of course I'm right. The train won't be here for another 2 hours. That's your fault. I said we should have put the clocks forward. Hey, boys and girls. Oh, there you are. Well, I'm very glad to have this opportunity of wishing you all personally a very happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Will Hay was one of a long line of comedians. At the turn of the century, there was Dan Leno, the King's Jester. He was considered the greatest comedian of his day.
The walls are high and the dungeons deep. Refreshments there are very, very cheap. But the beer it is not warranted to keep in the good old Tower of London. Sing hey, sing ho, for the beer in the Tower of London.
Comedy actress Nellie Wallace was billed as the essence of eccentricity. Her grotesque features had the audience in fits.
Didn't know what to do. The rain through me shoes began to soak. Now I've lost me bloomin' way, lost me bloomin' watch, and I can't find the top seed out.
While Gertie Gitana, the star who never fails to shine, was the daintiest. She charmed audiences with her delightful singing. Remember this comedian? Yes, it's Rob Wilton.
The day war broke out, my missus looked at me and she said, what good are you? I said, how do you mean, what good am I?
And what can I say about Florrie Ford, the world's greatest chorus singer? She really belted them out.
Come and have a drink or two down at the old bush.
Quickfire comedian Harry Champion of boiled beef and carrots fame, whose real name was, wait for it folks, William Henry Crump.
Boiled beef and carrots, boiled beef and carrots, that's the stuff you don't be kill, makes you fit and it keeps you well done, just like me.
Bransby Williams was the Hamlet of the Halls. He lived to a ripe old age of 91.
There's a one-eyed yellow idol to the north of Kathmandu.
One of the music hall's most eccentric comedians was G.H. Churgwin, the white-eyed Kaffir, with his strange individual makeup over one eye. And this is a photograph of Harry Tate with his precarious moustache. He developed some of the most hilarious sketches to be seen on the music halls.
Hello, hello, hello there! Hello, man! How are you?
Girl, if you like to love a soldier, you can all love me.
Vesta Tilley was considered the greatest of the three male impersonators. She was followed closely by rivals Ella Shields, who immortalised Burlington Bertie, and Hetty King with her famous authentic sailor characterisation.
Right to breezy, free and easy. He's a lady's pride and joy. He makes love to more than Jane, that he's off to sea again. Ship boy, ship boy.
I love a laddie, a bonny, bonny laddie. She's as pure as the lily in the dale. And she's as sweet as the heather, the bonny purple heather. Very much like bluebell.
Harry Lauder, Scotland's very own ambassador, had some great songs. He became known throughout the world, while Will Fife, that superb character actor, continued the tradition right into the variety era.
But when I get a couple of drinks on a Saturday, Glasgow belongs to me.
Patronised the tables at the Monte Carlo Hill till they hadn't got a sou for a Christian or a new. I then flew off to Paris for the charmed mademoiselle who was the darling of my heart. What can I do? But with 20 tongues she swore that she slew. Now, we did 12 with that last chorus. I'll sing this one in French. And I hope that you'll be good enough to follow me in the same language, won't you? Mind you, none of your na-poo and sans-terrien, anything like that. On the real stuff. Quand je me balade au bois de Boulogne, le long des grands boulevards, je m'attire tous les regards, on swing cette ville là. Il y en a pas une, ni blonde, ni brune, du drôle, voilà la bonne fortune, qui fit que des avant comme Monte Carlo. Your very best French. But that's not French at all. The wickedest French I ever had in all my life. I've sung many times in Paris, but I do not recognize the French accent tonight. Now I will have one more little chorus altogether for the last, and don't let this be a bald-headed chorus. Plenty of hell on this chorus when you get there. Are you all ready? Here we go. As I walk along the platform of the end of the And here's a picture of Harry Ralph, better known to music hall audiences as Little Titch.
Anyone's a bit short, apart from saying they've got duck's disease, we always call them titches, don't we? Say Little Titch. Now, nobody really knows, I suppose, how the word Little Titch came about as a nickname for someone who's short. Well, I think I do, because I'm a bit of a know-all, aren't I? Well, there was a great musical performer called Little Titch. Now, Little Titch was a very small in stature, and so from his name, Little Titch, everyone who was short in stature was called Titch. Now, he was a great dancer, an eccentric dancer. And this next bit of film is something very special indeed. It's about the oldest bit of film, I should think, of any musical artist in existence. Just watch what little Titch can do with a pair of big boots. Titch, and that was filmed, believe it or not, in 1900. Now, Little Titch was a great music hall star, and one of the other great music hall stars of that era was the father of a very famous son. Now, the father, of course, was George Formby Sr. Now, he had some great songs. His son, first of all, a jockey, but he got too fat for that, so he went on the halls doing his dad's old act. Eventually, he found himself a ukulele, and of course, from that moment on, the style that we all know so well came into existence. George Formby Jr.
I'm leaning on the lamp. I know I look just like a tramp. Oh, you may think I'm hanging round to steal a cow. But no, I'm not a crook. And if you think that's what I look, I'll tell you why I'm here and what my motives are. I'm leaning on the lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes by. I don't know if she'll get away, she doesn't always get away, but anyhow I know that she'll try. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes by. There's no other girl I can wait for, but this one I'd break any date for. I won't have to ask what she's late for. She wouldn't leave me flat, she's not a girl like that. Oh, she's absolutely beautiful and marvelous and wonderful, and anyone can understand why. I'm leaning on a lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady passes by. I'm leaning on the lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady comes by. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes by. I don't know if she'll get away, she doesn't always get away, but anyhow I know that she'll try. Oh me, oh my, I hope the little lady comes. But I did that, bum bum the on the lamppost at the corner of the street in case a certain little lady passes by.
And here is the bill for the Brighton Hippodrome for May 1903. Top of the bill is music hall's greatest exponent of magic, Harry Houdini. One of the great magicians, escapologists ever that the music hall produced was a man called Harry Houdini. They used to say he was the man they couldn't handcuff. Well, believe it or not, we've got some original film of Harry Houdini, the escape king, right now. In this incredible scene, Houdini is handcuffed to a wall, but he never fails to escape. Notice his nimble toes as they take hold of the key. The music halls produced many famous illusionists, such as the great Lafayette and Chung Ling Soo, but no one equaled the remarkable feats of Houdini, who first amazed British audiences way back in 1900 at London's Alhambra. No trick photography here as the escape king hangs from a rock 1,000 feet in the air by his fingertips. These spectacular scenes, filmed nearly 70 years ago, Houdini's insurance company insisted that he had a string of piano wire tied around his waist to save him from certain death. Harry Houdini, the most sensational of musical illusionists. Now this next bit of film is something very close to my heart because I had the great joy of playing the part of one of these performers in a West End musical not too long ago. The show, of course, was Underneath the Arches, and I needn't tell you who the two were that made that song so famous, Flanagan and Allen. Well, let's have a look at them now in a song maybe you haven't heard before, but it's so typical of their style, and I think it's a lovely song. It's called Yesterday's Dreams.
Once upon a time there was a sun up in the sky, and you and I were happy. That was yesterday, and we have left it all behind. Now what do we find? Yesterday's dreams were born with a smile. Yesterday's dreams just lingered a while. We lived and laughed and the world was ours. Then came the teardrops of April shower. Yesterday's dreams are so far away, gone with the dawn that brought us today. Maybe tomorrow we'll see our dreams all sail into view, and yesterday's dreams will all come true. Yesterday's dreams were born with a smile. Yesterday's dreams just lingered a while. We lived and laughed and the world was ours. Then came the teardrops of April shower. Yesterday's dreams are so far away, gone with the dawn that brought us today. Maybe tomorrow we'll see our dreams all sail into view. Then yesterday's dreams will all come true.
Well, as a finale for our show, we've got my very favourite musical performer of all time. I mean, lots of people used to go on the music halls and play cockney characters. They used to make them a sort of a bit posh and things like that. This guy was the genuine article, a real down-to-earth cockney who sang some of the best and the fruitiest music hall songs of all time. Will you meet now Mr. Gus Elen?
But don't you think him dead because he ain't? But since he's with ears, head to knuckle down, it's enough to wix the temper of a saint. He's a brewer's drayman with a leg of mutton fish and as strong as a bullock or an horse. Yet in her hands he's like a little kid. Oh, I wish as I could get him a divorce. Well, it's a great big shame, and if she belonged to me, I'd let her know her will. And nagging at a fella what is 6'3", and her only 4'2". Hadn't been married not a month nor more, when underneath her thumb goes Jim. How isn't it a pity as the likes of her should part upon the likes of him? Now Jim was class, he could sing a decent song, and at scrapping he had won some great renown. Well, it took 2 coppers for to make him move along, and another 6 to hold the fella down. But today when I heard his woody coming as some beer, to the doorstep on tiptoe he arrives. I daresn't, says he, don't shout for sillier, I've got to clean the windows and the knives. Well, it's a great big shame, and if she belonged to me, I'd let her know where you. And then there's a fella what is 6'3", and her only 4'2". Hadn't been
Mary's not a month nor more when underneath her thumb goes Jim. How isn't it a pity as the likes of her should part upon the likes of him? It's a great big shame and you think it on me. Not a month nor more when underneath her thumb goes Jim. How isn't it a pity as the likes of her should part upon the likes of him?
Gus Elen, eh? Wouldn't like to run into that face on a dark night, would you? Beautiful performance. I hope you've enjoyed our vintage music hall this afternoon. All the film clips and things that you've seen today have been put together by a pal of mine, David Trigg, with a lot of help from another great pal of mine called Joe Ging. I hope you've had a smashing time at the music hall. See you all again soon. Ta-ra for now.